Szanowni Państwo, dzisiaj szczególny dzień na torze Świdnickiej Skałki. Jesteśmy niemalże na progu lata, 21 dzień czerwca i Śląsk Świętochłowice gości dzisiaj ekipę Ultrapur Omegi Gniezdo, w którego w skład wchodzi m.in. Jan Pedersen, były indywidualny mistrz świata rodem z Danii. Ten tytuł został zdobyty na torze Ulevi w Göteborgu. Am I right? I've just introduced you that you reached the World Championship in Sweden at Gothenburg in Ulevi.
Yes, I understood that. Yes, that was in '91. Yeah, for the individual World Championship.
Yeah, individual.
Yeah. Because I've got team and pairs World Championships as well, gold medals. So, which is the good part.
Yeah, so you're one of the most successful Danish riders back from the 80s and 90s, among Hans Nielsen, Erik Gundersen. Yes. Unfortunately, your career was sadly ended here by an injury.
Yes, it was injured actually 8 months after I won the World Championship. I had a really serious back injury when I rode in Denmark, and that finished my career. So I never got the chance to defend my world title. But I was 29 at the time, and I was just getting to the top of my career, but at least I won it, so that's what I always keep saying.
Despite this injury, do you have any regrets towards Speedway? Because some people say if we get injured, you might have some kind of regrets. How about you?
No, I don't have any regrets. I mean, I live with handicaps every day from the accidents, but I manage them. I've learned to manage them. It was a bit hard just after, but I've learned to manage and accept this is the way life is. You have your ups and downs, and I had my ups and I also had my downs, but I got through it and I'm here.
Yeah, some people say that could get injured, in everyday life, accidents happen sometimes.
Yeah.
You got injured back in early 90s, So I assume you had some spell with Polish league racing, yeah?
I just started in the Polish league that year. I was supposed to ride for Rybnik, and I only did one meeting. So I never really got into it because I followed the Polish league, and I think the way Speedway's in Poland, I'm so envious not to have been part of it because it was so exciting. It still is. Now I'm part of it now down here with Jakob Jensen as a coach, and I love it every day.
So what can you say about Jakob Jensen? He is making a debut in Polish league this season. How is he doing?
He's doing really well. I mean, I've trained him for 4 years now. It's my 4th season. As soon as he started on the 500 Rs, they talked me into being a coach for him, and I've been a coach for him for 4 years. And it's really paying off now. All the work we've done over the years, it's coming together, and he's 17 now, and he's just going forward in a controlled manner. And I love being part of this Polish league here with Nisno and coming around to see all the tracks. And I meet a lot of old friends again, which is even better.
Yeah, talking about the Polish league and Danish league, let's try to talk about your country, Am I right saying that Danish Speedway is back on its, maybe not best, but it's coming back to where it should be actually?
Well,
in terms of, the league structure and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think from what I see with the youngsters, because I've followed Jakob for 4 years now, I've seen a lot of the youngsters growing up. And there is a group of young lads who can develop into becoming good speed riders. Plus we have some like Mikkel Andersen and stuff, people like them. Young, coming up, Bastian Pedersen, they're all young coming up, and they're exciting to see how far up they can make it. So I do follow them quite regularly, see what they're doing, and see how they develop as a speeder rider, because it's a development over many years, and you never know when the development is going to stop. But that's the good thing is when they employ old riders like me, I can guide them in where they're going to go and how they're going to ride, and put my experience on to them.
It's been 35 years, since your career was ended.
Yeah.
Can we see any differences between the state of Speedway that times and present day? What has changed?
Apart from the look of the bike, I think generally I don't think much has changed. I mean, there's always little things you can say here, there, and everywhere, and I'm so happy to see the Polish league has developed the way it does and the way you train the youngsters. I'm envious on that. I really wish we could do that in Denmark. I mean, we do train them, we have good tracks, but there is something that we're missing, which is where I've worked with this family now for 4 years. So it is exciting, but as a difference, I think we did many more meetings. We were based in the UK, which was really far away. So we used to have to fly everywhere, where today it's different because it's more Polish, maybe a little bit of Danish, England or Sweden, but not to the sense it was back in our time because it was a lot of traveling. So I'm glad they're not traveling as much anymore and they can ride more Speedway instead.
So would you say the center of attention of Speedway has moved from Great Britain towards Poland these days?
No doubt about it. I mean, when I see English Speedway compared to when I used to ride there, I mean, it's sad to see how far down it's gone. But when I see Polish Speedway, to see how far up it's gone, and I mean that Poland is the center of attention. If you want to be a Speedway rider, you move to Poland, learn a bit of Polish, and then maybe move down here. If it was me starting a career, I would just move down here the same way as I went to England when the time was right. So that's what I would do as I was a youngster today.
Is it your first time at Świętochłowice?
Yes, it is.
And how do you find it?
I think it's a beautiful stadium, absolutely beautiful, and the track looks incredible. I'm quite envious because I would really like to go and try it out, but I can't really. But I really will love to because it looks fantastic.
Since your injury, have you ever mounted a bike?
Yes, I have. I did.
And how did it feel?
I did. Amazing. Just like I was back on yesterday. I tried in '99. I did a meeting for Ollie Olsen, 25 years of Boyens, and then in 2011 I rode a little bit, but of course injury and I couldn't really mount to anything. But to be back on the bike was amazing. It really was.
What do you think about the current state of Speedway in general?
I think because Poland is so good at it now, I think it's in a good state. I don't know what Poland was like 10 years ago, so I can't quite judge that because I was in car racing for 12 or 15 years actually, as a tire man. So that's hard to tell because I was outside Speedway. But what I've seen now, I think is in a good state. As I said, the way they train the youngsters is amazing. I just hope it continues down here.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask about the present day of Speedway and how, in terms of World Championship, events, because when you were winning, when you won your title, it was a one-day final. Okay, now we got 300 Grand Prix, yesterday, in Rozmowa. Which is better solution for this sport in general? How do you think?
I think as excitement, there's nothing like a one-day world final for a rider. Nothing like it. But the GP is better for the crowd, the public. They see more often, go to different countries, not just one country per year. I think it's still the same riders who will win the GP World Championship than the one-day one. I think it's still the same because when we did ours, we had to do qualifiers. I mean, just imagine doing back then. Sweden and Denmark were pretty evenly matched. Yeah. We had to do a qualifier where 6 went through. Yeah. That was the most difficult one, was the Scandinavian one.
Probably harder than the final itself.
Yeah, it was so hard because there's so many good riders. Yeah. So you still had to be good over a season. It was just different. It was qualifiers instead of doing actually GPs. Now they just do GPs. The one who wants to qualify, of course, goes through the qualifying rounds. But the people who are there. So we did maybe 5 meetings to get to the World Championship. Now they're doing it to 10. Yeah. So, as I said, the rider who wins the GP championship, he would have won the individual on the one day as well, because he still has to be bloody good.
Yeah, provided there are no some kind of engine failures or.
Of course, I mean
exclusions.
You never know that, but again, you are still a little bit in control of that because it's you as a rider. I mean, if somebody knocks you down when you're leading from behind, that you can't do anything about. But that's how Speedway is. So I don't see that as a thing. But of course your bike can break, but it can break into GPs, and you can see sometimes it's just down to a few points. So you can't have any too big accidents or anything like that. So as I said, I think it's different, but it's still as good in a different way.
Okay.
That's the way I would describe it.
Two more questions, okay?
Yeah.
One, back in 1990s, okay, late 80s, okay, there was a huge dominance of Danish speedway around the world. Huge is understatement.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is understatement.
Would you say that it was harder for you? Okay, you partially answered this question with Scandinavian finals.
Yeah.
Okay, was it harder for you to be the world champion or whatever? Okay, just because of the wave of such great names as
Yeah, I mean,
Knudsen, Gundersen.
yeah,
Nielsen.
I mean, it was in a way it was harder. No, that because I'm a few years younger than Eric and Hans, and they were like, there was Ollie Olsen of course first, then there was Eric and Hans, lots of others, but at the top. So I had to go and beat them to be recognized as being good in Denmark.
Yeah.
If I'd have been a Polish rider, I would have been on top for being who I am. So in that
At
way,
that times.
yeah. So that in that way it was harder, but in another way it always gave me something to aim at. Is to beat them, to have the respect, and I did that at the end.
And maybe to have a pattern to follow. as well.
Yeah. So it, yes, it was harder, but I wouldn't have changed it. I really wouldn't, even though I would have loved to have represented another country, because I would have been top of the world. But the thing is, I know is, I beat them at the end, and that's what matters. So I beat them, and that was the best thing.
Okay. Apart from speedway, what else do you do for a living? If it's not secret.
Yeah, no. At the moment, Speedway is what I do. I've done that for 4 years now. Before then, I've done, I said 15 years in car racing, 10 as a tire supplier for Dunlop. Back in the days where they did the Danish Touring Car Championship, it was big then. So I was part of car racing for many years, and it taught me quite a few things. How I do Speedway today, how I'm coaching Speedway, because it learned me other stuff that I didn't know if I'd been just part of Speedway. So I'm quite grateful I was away from Speedway for a bit and come back and see what we do wrong and try and correct it with the youngsters. So in that respect, I enjoyed that bit. I've been I've done food events. I've done many things trying just to get something going. But I do enjoy being back in Speedway and seeing everybody and coming to the tracks that I used to go to and meet people I used to talk to. And of course, giving my experience to a youngster or youngsters is amazing.
So wishing you all the good luck, okay, with passing the experience to the young riders, as Jakub Jensen among others, okay.
Yes,
And it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much
too.
and see you very soon.
you
Szanowni
soon.
Państwo, naszym gościem był Jan Pedersen, mistrz świata z roku 1991.